Hello friends, welcome to ASP.NET tutorial. In this sub-series, we will learn about UI controls and how page rendering depends on reading the UI control and generating the HTML. So that's the process we call as rendering. So page rendering and UI control, that's what we are going to learn here. And in this very first video, we will learn controls provided by HTML. So here, if you see, save is one control and this text box is one control. On these controls, user will do their navigation. Here they may enter some text, right? And they may click this button. So that's the user interaction. And in this video, we are going to create these two as a HTML control. HTML supports rendering the controls to get user input. These controls are called client-side control. Since the controls are rendered by the HTML browser, we call this as a client-side control. So the HTML will be a document, markup language document, and that will be given to the browser window, right? So the browser window, in the sense, we can call it as a browser, any browser, Chrome, Edge, Safari, all are a browser, and these browsers know how to render the HTML. So there will be tag for user control in the HTML itself, and when browser sees those tag, it renders the specific control. Since control rendering takes place or HTML is available here in the HTML itself, we call that as a client-side control. So whatever control we create in the HTML using the input tag, and we call such a control as client-side control. Browser knows how to render them. Now let's create HTML document with a text box and a button in it. So that's the HTML document we will create. It will have a text box and it will have a button. Both are, if you see, user navigable elements or user interface elements. And since the controls are created in the HTML document itself, we call these two controls as a client-side control. You can learn more HTML control from our HTML course, which is shown here. Learn HTML5, and in that you will be having 7 or 8 videos that talks about creating the client-side controls. So you will see how to create a checkbox, radio button, combo box, all those stuff in this course. Now let's go to the demo and see how to create a HTML document with the client-side control. Then we will deploy that in our IIS server and see how it works when we are rendering that in the browser. Let's go to the demo now. So let's alright, let us open IIS server, Internet Information Server, run it as administrator. And if you see, we already have a web application. Let's click on that and go to Explore option. This will show the directory. Let's copy this to the clipboard and start Visual Studio 2017. So Visual Studio 2017 is started. What we will do, we will create file, new file, and that we will click web and choose HTML page. We will click open here. This will open a HTML document. So this will provide a document with a default template. We will save this file as, so C drive temp1. Okay, we already have this in a clipboard. Anyhow, it's okay. Now we will name this as simple HTML controls, and we will click save. So in the body we will add two HTML element. So this is just a static text. Enter your name. After that, here we are having an input control. So the tag input tells that it's a user interface element on HTML side, and type here we are specifying text. So that means it's a text box control. Next we open one more input type, and here we specify the type as button, so it will display the button, and caption we are setting it using the value property. Right, now we have our HTML document ready, and switch to content view, and here you can see the ASP.003 simple HTML control. Now if you want to browse this, you can right click here and choose browse, or in the web address you can directly type localhost YouTube coding example. That's the virtual directory name. We created this web application in one of our previous video, and this maps to C drive temp1. So in C drive temp1 we kept this HTML file that contains two input control, and you can see here when it is rendering the text box and save button. If you go to view page source, you can see both of our control presented here. So since these controls are on the HTML itself, we can say these two control as client side control. It's not generated on the server side, it's there with the HTML document itself. That's all here in this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.